All right. Hello, we are live. Brian's here. Brian, what's your name? This is Sam. This is
Schroeds. Holy
Schroeds.
smokes! I gotta put my glasses on.
You
I
ever
think
been-
that's what it says.
You ever been called Schroeds before?
Schroeds. Just a couple times by you.
Yep. If you don't have a nickname around our office, that's not a good thing. So if you have a nickname, that's a good thing. So Brian and
Everybody at the office is gonna be wondering tomorrow.
Yeah, they're like, "Do I have a nickname?"
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to be talking real estate investing. We're going to give you a quick market update, what we think is going on in the market, tell you a little bit about us. Then we are going to go into Brian's story. He's got an awesome story. I call him the real estate scientist because
Where'd you come up with that?
because he is an aeronautical engineer, so he's technically a rocket scientist. Get
Sure.
it now? So just it's an R word, real estate rocket. So real
Very
estate
similar.
scientist.
So that's
Get
really
it?
tricky. How did you come up with that? That's really
I don't know.
impressive.
I
Your
think
mind
too
does
much.
crazy things.
It does. So Brian, so let us know where you're from. Here from TikTok. Thanks for.
And if you're a rocket scientist, make sure you put a comment in there.
There
It's amazing how many real estate guys I run into that were engineers.
Awesome. Well, let us know where you are from, guys. We want to interact and give you as much feedback as possible, and comments help do that. So let us know where you're from. Whatever questions you have about real estate investing, we're going to talk about Brian's story, but we are going to happily answer as many as we can, which we usually have. We'll talk all night if we have to answer questions. So
I am from Garner, Iowa. So if there's any Iowans out there, originally, obviously St. Louis area now, but any Iowans out there, please comment.
Dylan, awesome. Appreciate it. New York is in here. We got Arizona. We got Dutzow.
That's
We got
Where's that?
We got Florida. We got St. Louis. What's going on, guys? We appreciate you telling us where you're from. Keep the comments coming. Keep asking questions. So a quick intro on us. Then we're going to talk about the market, and then we are going to get into Brian's story. So Brian and I combined have a rental portfolio worth $25 million. We also own a house buying company along with our bald-headed friend Louie that buys 200 houses a year.
Is Louis on here tonight?
He might be. He's usually on. Dutchtown, there you go. He might, or we're going to buy 200 houses this year. We're probably going to wholesale around 125 and rehab around 75 in some shape or form. So we do a lot in the real estate space, and we are here to provide value and answer any questions you guys have. So keep the chats coming. Look at all these we got coming. What's going on? Just subscribe. Thank you. We appreciate it, guys. Keep them coming. Keep the questions coming. This is going to be an awesome live. This is going to be our best one yet. In the meantime, let's get rolling with the intro. All right. Thanks for that fun intro. I'm a recent grad architect. What do you recommend start doing in real estate? Wholesale and live in Illinois. So I think, yeah, so we'll answer some questions, then we'll go into what we think about the market. Yeah, why don't you take that one, Brian? How do you recommend? I feel like I answer this one all the time. I'll critique your answer.
What do you recommend to start real estate? I think most people, I think the best way to get started is wholesaling, but I don't know that's always true because some people are really good at finding deals, and they're more like a sales personality and stuff, so they can really find deals at a good discount. A lot of people recommend starting with wholesaling because there's very little risk involved, but I don't know that it's right for everybody. I actually started by renting. I had a couple of rentals a long time ago, and then I flipped a couple houses. So I think everybody's different. If you got more of an engineering personality or a scientist like me, maybe it's better to start by doing a
You gotta wear
rehab.
glasses if you want to be a scientist. Can't you tell Brian's a scientist? So keep letting us know where you're from. Keep answering your question. Before we talk about the market, let's talk about this. What is a real estate scientist?
Didn't you just talk about that earlier, or was that on TikTok?
That was on TikTok.
I got you.
I don't know what a real estate
that was on here.
That's something I made up because he's a rocket scientist. So let's do a market update, and then we'll answer questions. And then we'll get into Brian's story. So the market, and if you're on Facebook, give us a like and a heart. I see on there, and on YouTube, we appreciate it. Give us a like on YouTube and on Facebook as well. We'd appreciate it. And keep your questions coming. We'll get to every single one that we can. Market update. The market is probably one of the hottest it's been in a technical recession that has ever been.
And it keeps going. I mean, it's been hot. I don't know, when did it really get hot? Like June, I think, or somewhere in that range. And where are we now? September. I've been amazed at how long it stayed so hot. So I don't know. I kind of feel like it's going to run out of steam soon, but it hasn't yet.
Yeah, I definitely think that, I think it's going to slow up a little bit, maybe during right around election time, but then has the potential to kind of take off where it left off. I know for really, really smart people say it's going to be gangbusters next year, and I know smart people that say it's probably not going to be good. So we don't know. Not even scientists know the answer to that.
Well, I think that tells you a lot because nobody really knows. There's probabilities out there and stuff, but nobody really knows. There's just so many cross currents involved. But the inventory is really low, so that's a good sign that it's going to stay hot for a little while.
Awesome. So we are going to talk a little bit more about the market, then to get into questions, then Bryan's story. So leads have been, we like to get 20 leads a month, or a week, sorry. I feel like we've been getting in between like 14 and 18 for the past 3-4 weeks. It just kind of seems stuck there. So we're trying some new things, but leads have been pretty good. Buys have been crazy. I think we bought 4 houses this afternoon.
Yeah.
I think Dusty bought 2 and Dennis bought 2, and Cameron bought 2.
Well, and I'm going to throw out something. We always talk about leads from our marketing, but we're also developing a lot of leads from our acquisitions guys, just getting really good at networking and finding connectors out there.
Yeah, I did this training to train our acquisition guys on how to buy. I'm kidding, Bryan.
That was awesome. He did that. But they're bringing in about as many leads as we come from our marketing. So I think roughly we had about, what would you say, 14, 15 leads last week from our marketing. But our acquisitions guys brought in about 14, 15 leads also.
Yeah, our acquisition guys are crushing it. Our goal is to buy 15 to 20 houses a month, and we've been doing that pretty consistently. And so
don't rely just on marketing. Get out there and talk to people.
Yep, awesome. Let's answer some questions, and then we will get into Bryan's story. So,
PC girls,
what's poppin'? Shout out from Sarasota, Florida. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in and ask us what other questions you have. We know quite a few investors down in Florida. P to the V to the
Hi, Philip.
PV. What's up, buddy? All right. I want to pursue real estate investing in the near future after I graduate high school. What steps are taken after I graduate? I would just say get to know as many people as you can in the real estate industry by going to local meetups and joining local real estate investing groups. You can do a ton of knowledge, and the fact that you're thinking about this when you're in high school is awesome. I was thinking about not getting in trouble and trying to make out the girls under the bleachers in high school. So that is awesome that you
under the bleachers.
Yeah, that was a PG version, Bryan. I didn't know. I can't really go that far into what I was doing back then, but that is awesome. You're thinking about that.
Yeah, being on these YouTube channels and podcasts and stuff. Bigger Pockets is on an awesome podcast and platform. So good stuff.
Yep, another one just
watching.
What
did you sign up for?
Somebody just signed up for a call with me. So this isn't really what this is about, but you can schedule a call with me to talk about our rental academy, which we'll talk about at the end. But someone just scheduled the call. Dylan, maybe he's watching there. Dylan Clark, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. How do you find the seller's contact info? So there's several different ways you can do it. You can just go to the tax records and find out like their name, because you probably don't know who owns it, but then you can skip trace. So it's called skip tracing. So you can there's several companies that do it online. The Deal Machine app that we use, we know the owner for, that's a Drive for Dollars app. They have a skip tracing feature on there. If you have any interest, in all of our descriptions on our YouTube videos is a link, because we know the owner for some free stuff. So go there if you have any interest in that. But there's skip tracing is the way that you find them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of skip tracing companies out there.
Here's a great question. You answer this one, Bryan.
How do you manage all your rental properties? Well, I mean, right now we have a team that does that for us. But when we started, I managed my own houses for the first, 15 or 20. Then we hired a property manager. She was kind of like an assistant, basically. She would help us out with stuff in the office, but also do marketing stuff for us and stuff. But over time, we've grown a team. So that's how we manage our rentals right now, is that in-house management team.
Awesome. Dusty, what's going on? I just wanted to talk about this here briefly. So everyone asked what the first thing you should do, and I said go to your local real estate meetups. Dusty is a perfect example of it. This guy about 2.5 years ago had done one flip, but didn't really know anything about real estate. He came to a meetup that Bryan was talking at our meebup, and he got inspired and he got connected.
He didn't sleep at all that night.
He didn't sleep, he just ran because it was fun. He bought 30. He's got 34 rental doors in 2 years because he went to meetup.
That's true.
Crazy. So go to those local meetups.
It's so funny that you said he ran, because he's a little bit like Forrest Gump, that he gets so excited he has to go out and run.
Forrest Gump's way smarter than Dusty. Just kidding, Dusty. All right. So here's another question. What price do you try and say? We're going to try to get your questions. If we miss your question, if you feel like we're too far down, just ask it again. Our goal will be to get to it. we're going to answer questions and we're going to talk Bryan's story. But if you keep asking questions, we might just do that. But if you want to hear Bryan's story, we'll try to weave that in. But,
all good.
So what is your top price you try and stay at? So it kind of depends. For rentals, there's a certain price point you can only go to if you're going to cash flow because of the formula. But what we do is we just try to buy at a percentage off of market price, technically. So there's no really price range that we won't buy at if we buy it deep enough. Now, we don't love to buy $1 million houses or houses that are worth, more than that. In the St. Louis area, that's a lot. But we've done it, and if it's a good enough deal, we will again. But we buy at a formula, and I have a video on this on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching on YouTube, go check it out later. It's the max allowable offer video. If you're on Facebook, go to YouTube and subscribe for sure after this. But we take ARV, which stands for after repair value. Am I doing it the right way? I think it's because this is reversed. Anyways, I think it's this way. We take ARV, which is after repair value.
Which direction you're going?
Because you read left to right. I'm trying to make it visually appealing, Bryan.
All right.
Gosh. All right. So we take ARV, which is the after repair value. And how do you find the after repair value?
You got to be able to good at running comps.
What are comps?
Three really good similar houses within a short distance, like within a quarter-mile radius is what we typically look for. But within that subdivision is really good, or within that school district, but close by that are very similar. So if you're looking at a 3-bedroom, 1-bath ranch, look for comps that are 3-bedroom, 1-bath houses. So if you find 3 houses that are very similar, then you look at the photos to see how they, if they're updated nice inside, and then you can kind of dial in what that house is worth by doing that.
Yep, I agree with that 100%. And then if you can do that, do it. If you might have mentioned it, or contact a real estate agent, they can help you do that as well. So keep the question comes. We'll keep.
Did you answer his question? ARV times 75%.
Oh, we didn't even finish it. So
I don't want to leave the guy hanging.
So ARV. So Bryan just showed you that ARV, and then you multiply that times 0.75 or 75% minus repair. So a quick example: if a house is worth $100,000 fixed up, 100,000 times 0.75 or 75% is 75 grand. Even I know that math without Lucas here to do it for me. So that's 75 grand, and it needed 20 grand in repairs, like I said a second ago. So 55 grand is your max allowable offer on that house. Try to get it less, but obviously you can add a 0 to that, or double or triple whatever the price range of the houses are. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to give us a like and subscribe if you haven't. And on Facebook, give us a like. Those likes are going up. Give us a like. We'd appreciate it. We're here to answer questions. So get down to some questions. If we miss your question, just ask it again. FasterFreedom local meetup that really changed my life. Love it. Juan, he's always on my TikTok stuff also. How do I know I had a good loan from a private lender? So interesting way to ask. So a good loan from a private lender, in my opinion, is that 8 to 12% return for them on a good investment that's going to return money and going to be good for you and them.
Yeah,
I guess.
I think that's pretty much it. If there's a follow-up question to that, let us know.
Yep. All right, what do you mean by local meetup? So that's local real estate investing meetup clubs, which is, you might not know they're out there if you're not in the space. I didn't know they existed until a few years ago, and now Bryan has the biggest one in St. Louis. Well, we have the biggest one in St. Louis. So you just go to meetup.com, and right now they're only advertising their virtual ones because of all this craziness going on, which I understand.
Yep.
But eventually they'll go back to advertising the ones that meet up, but they're virtual ones and in-person meetups. And it's incredible. It's a place where you can go and meet other like-minded investors, contractors, wholesalers, real estate agents, banks a lot. So it's everybody that is involved in real estate goes. There's usually, in most big cities, there's a couple a week at least.
Yeah.
So it's everybody's involved in the real estate investing space, goes and meets, has fun, has a few drinks. There's usually a speaker. It's an incredible place to go.
Cool. Good answer.
Thank you. All right, I'll let you take this one.
How can I join your real estate academy?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You take that one.
I got that one. So hit me up on Instagram if you want to chat personally, but go to freerentalwebinar.com. I'll get the banner out. We'll throw that on the bottom because people seem to keep asking questions. So go here at the bottom, and then you watch a free webinar I put on. Then you can get on a call with me, and I can explain to you what our rental academy is. It's incredible. It is. Bryan, Luke, and I teach how we have built a $25 million rental portfolio without using any of our own money. There's no upsell. We're not selling you anything else. It is the deal. It's a 10-week course that we teach everything we know from A to Z about real estate and growing rental portfolio.
It's a really exciting course. I enjoy it.
It's really freaking.
It's everything we do. So
it's everything we do, and we believe in, and we do it. So Search. Yep, there you go. Yahtzee answered the question for you. Best list to pull for wholesaling. So, like, I think he's looking for a list to find motivated sellers. So there's a ton of really good ones. The main one that works, but it's super competitive, is absentee list, with somebody that doesn't live in a house but owns it. So they're more than likely a landlord, or they just have another house, so they're more likely to sell. That's a great one. Pre-foreclosure ones, I think, a pretty good one.
Probably become even better like next year if the market has a little bit of a pullback. If it doesn't, then not.
And then the high equity is what we usually shoot for. I know some people do like upside down or no equity, but they have creative financing that we're not going to get into that those people probably go after, is why they do those lists. But we look for high equity, absentee, or a pre-foreclosure type list are the main ones. There's a bunch of different people mail divorce or water main shutoffs. There's a ton you can mail.
Probate's real popular.
Probate's a good one too. Yeah. Probate's the highest quality lead that we do. So what is the best way to learn wholesale real estate? Just go to those local meetups and join those local real estate investing Facebook groups. Follow my YouTube, my TikTok, all the stuff. I try to give as much free information as I can. And we have a course that teaches how to build rentals and wholesaling. We teach how to buy houses at a discount. So that's what you need to wholesale. So that's a way to do it too if you want.
Yeah, our buddy David Dodge has a thing that's called free wholesale course.
freewholesalecourse.com.
Feel free to check that out.
For sure. Your question: how often do you raise rents, percentage, dollar increments? How often do you revise your lease? You take this one, Brian.
All right. So how often do we raise rents? We try to do it every year. So most years we raise rents. For us, most of our rents are from like $900 to $1,500 is what our standard renters are at, and we're generally increasing it $20 or $25 a year. So somewhere in that range. So I don't know what percentage that is, but
yeah, it just kind of depends on just trying to keep up with market value, because and we have this talk with our tenants all the time, and that's the reason we collected 98% of rent, so because we treat our tenants fairly. But your costs go up every year. Your real estate taxes go up every year. The cost of repair goes up. Your inflation,
everything goes up.
So you're just and
sandwiches at Subway go up every year.
Yeah, they do. They do. The $5 footlong used to have like a ton of them. Now there's like 2.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, there's so that's just another way to. Because your costs go up, and most of them get increases at work too. So everything just goes up. Inflation is an important part of the economy that keeps everything rolling, and that needs to be part of your rentals as well.
Yeah, she also asked, how often do you revise lease agreements? So I'm not exactly sure. We update. I mean, revise. So we try to every year, or sometimes our tenants are on 2 years leases, to renew the lease, as in get a new lease signed. But we don't change the wording on our lease hardly ever. So I'm not sure that answers the question.
What's going on, BJ? Appreciate it. He goes to our local meetups. He's a real estate stud. Some question up here. Website doesn't work, so make sure you're typing it in right. If not, hit me up on Instagram, send me a private message, but it's freerentalwebinar.com. So I checked the earlier day and it worked. If it doesn't work, you can just go to FasterFreedom.com. Brian will look it up on his phone. So keep answering questions. Keep them coming, guys. We love this. I feel like we're providing as much value as we can. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you haven't, if you're on Facebook, like this video, and after this video, go to YouTube and subscribe. Do you ever have issues with vacancy loss when investing in single-family home compared to multifamily? I would say the vacancy is pretty similar in both, in my opinion. If you have a nice property that's at it works. So freerentalwebinar.com works on our phone. So in my opinion, whether it's a single-family house, a duplex, a multifamily, whatever it is, if you have a storage facility, if you have a nice, presentable building or house that shows well and is reasonably priced, it's going to rent within 30 days or less. The people that have issues are over asking, or the house is in bad condition or bad area of town. If it's a nice area or decent enough area of town, even if it's a bad area of town, people still rent there. Yeah. You just have to have your rental rate adjusted to that. So if your rental rate is at the market rate and your house is nice, you should not have any issue renting.
Yeah, I'm always amazed, Sam, and I'm going to get off track here, but
he does that sometimes.
I used to be the leasing agent for our houses. And I remember one time we had a house that was in Jennings, for people that are in the St. Louis area, another house in St. Charles, and they were both renting for about the same amount, and they were similar houses, but and somebody called about the one in Jennings, and I just told them to tell them about the St. Charles one. I don't know why I did, but I did. And they wanted the one in Jennings. That always surprised me. I guess I'm a St. Charles guy. It seems like a nicer part of town to me, but maybe it's not. Everybody likes to live where they know. Exactly.
Another one from Joe. Another sign up for Joe. Thank you for going. They went there. So we got a bunch of questions. We're going to keep them coming. I had a canned question for Brian. That's another one. Kenny. That's the third one.
Gosh, you're doing good.
So this is my question for you, Brian.
Besides being a broker, what is your favorite part about real estate?
Right?
You know I love being a broker, huh? That's why we hired Matt. Matt is doing awesome. We love Matt. Holy smokes. Matt is
It was hard for you to give up the brokerage.
Sure
So it's a joke. It's a joke. Bryan loves everything about real estate pretty much besides being a broker, which is broker's license. So we partnered with Matt, who's running Magnolia now, is crushing it. So that was a joke. So what's your favorite part about real estate? And I'll get back to some of the other questions.
What is my favorite part about real estate?
I'm curious about it. I don't know if I know it. I probably do. But.
You know what? Probably my favorite part is I just love the strategy around real estate. It's, you know, I love sports. You know, I always wanted to be a professional football player, and I figured out I wasn't like good enough.
How soon did you figure that out? Hopefully
it took me a while.
It took you a while?
It did.
Okay.
I'm a little slow sometimes. But I just love the competition and the strategy behind sports. And real estate's the same way. It's fun. It's fortunately you can make a lot of money doing it, but it's also fun and entertaining, and there's strategy involved. So I love all of that about it.
Yeah, I agree. I think kind of what you said but didn't say is it kind of feeds that, for me, it feeds that competitiveness, because I'm extremely competitive, grew up playing competitive sports. And when you're done with that, I mean, you play sports, you hear professional athletes retiring, but play competitive sports for, I don't know, 15 years or something, and then that's just gone.
Yeah.
And then how do you feed that? And real estate's a great way. That's
an awesome way to do it.
So
I agree.
Cool. Keep questions coming. We will answer as many as we can. Ty So Fly, on all my
always
stuff,
here.
Appreciate that. Are you familiar with roof stock? If so, what are your opinions about using a company like that to buy rentals? So roof stock is so we teach the BRRRR method, no money out of pocket. Roof stock, you're basically paying like cash to own it. You know,
we're putting 20% down.
20% down. Yeah. I think it's fine. We sold it. We have one house on a contract there. I think it's not a bad way to invest, especially if you don't have time, and because you're basically using real estate as a stock, kind of, in my opinion.
That's a good way to say it. It's a good platform to buy houses, but they're what I would call turnkey rentals. They're typically, I guess not always, but typically I think about roof stock as selling houses that are already fixed up. Quite often they already have tenants in them. But I don't know, do they sell as is stuff on roof stock?
I don't know if they do or not.
I'm not sure.
We still got questions going on our TikTok live. People asking, we're on YouTube now. You can go to our YouTube if you want, or stay there. That's fine. I can't read that far. How does money you personally need to retire off? How much money do you need to personally retire off for your passive income? So I'll answer that a little bit, then you can answer. So Bryan's really good at this kind of stuff. So it's financial freedom number, which is basically when you can retire, is what your monthly expenses and how much rent you need to collect passively a month to become financially free, is which we talk about a lot. So just quick numbers. If you have $2,000 a month in expenses, good for you.
Yeah.
But and let's say you cash flow net $200 a door. Yeah. So just the math, 200 times 10, you need 10 houses to become financially free and technically retire.
Yeah.
So and just do the math. Let's say you have 10,000 a month, which is probably more reasonable.
Yep.
And 200 a month per door, that's 50 houses. You know, or if you get 300 a door, it's less. So that's kind of my answer. Do you kind of
totally agree with that? And you were using 200 as a door, 200 per door. That's typically what we're seeing in the St. Louis area if we're using the BRRRR method, and you're
right.
And you're putting in all your costs, your vacancy, your maintenance, your payment, your insurance, your taxes. So if you do all that, we're typically seeing $200, maybe $300 a house. So up front, then over time, you're going to get rental increases over that. But so just take, a quick, easy way to do it is how much you need on a monthly basis to make to live on, divided by 200 a house, and you'll get roughly the amount of houses you need.
For sure. Great question. PCS Girls here from TikTok. Richard, Income Investing Group from Florida, just sub. Thank you. Appreciate that. Comment on my videos. How are you funding deals? Cash, subject to one. Great question. So we fund all our deals. So we buy a lot of rentals. We have a $25 million rental portfolio, but we also buy 200 houses a year. How many of those use your own money on, Bryan?
Zero.
Correct. So we have multiple funding sources. You do that because I do that. You're making fun of me. So we have multiple funding sources, which I always preach, short-term and long-term. But private lenders are my favorite and potentially our main source now almost in flipping and rentals. So private lending, hard money lending, and private lenders are just people or acquaintances, or I always say it's like your grandma's neighbor or your grandma or your friend's boss or your dad's boss, whatever. It's just a connection, somebody that has some extra money they're willing to invest. They're sometimes hard to find. If it takes 6 months or 2 years to find a hard money or a private lender, it's worth it, I promise. But then also hard money, which we still use to this day, is a great way to fund your deals. And there are companies that are, the whole goal of the company is to lend money to short-term real estate investors on short-term loans. So they're easy to find. Google them, look them up on Facebook. Then why don't you take the other ones? We don't do much cash at all, obviously. Subject to owner financing, we don't do a ton of that, but you've probably done more than I have because I've never done one.
I've done several subject to deals over the years. It's been a little while, and I think we're actually going to do more of that in the future. So it's just like anything. You got to get a niche.
60 people.
You're distracting.
Sorry. Yeah, I know. Keep going. Lucas is used to deal with that. I've been with you a couple years. I figured you'd be used to it by now.
I know. So I always recommend getting a niche. Because it's hard to do too many things that because they're all different. But we've bought subject to deals before. That's doable, very doable. Seller financing. You're talking about owner financing, seller financing, the same thing. All doable. What we primarily do, though, is what Sam was talking about. We fund our deals through either private money or hard money lenders. And if you're in the St. Louis, I have a hard money lending business, so we'd be happy to lend to you.
Lending. If you're in St. Louis area, you want to invest in your Faster Funds Lending, best in town, not even close. All right, Mark Giles.
Hi, Mark.
What to look for in an online private lender? How can you make sure online lender is legitimate? What kind of evidence you ask for? It's a great question. I don't have any experience in that space.
I don't either. I'm sure if you're talking about an online private lender, that's probably like a hard money lender, I would guess, but I don't know exactly. But if you've got an online lender out there, I would look for just reviews or referrals. That's probably what I would do. I wouldn't just work with somebody without some kind of references or something from other people. So I guess that's my answer for that. But I would try to find local private lenders that that works better.
For sure. How much is your 10-week course? I wish that Iowa could do mentorship and learn firsthand. So the course is, we offer discounts on there. So I'll give you the pricing. It is not near as expensive as you think. I'll leave it at that. There's people that charge $20,000 for a 2-day boot camp and leave you on your own. It's a very small percentage of that, and should I tell them about the best part or not?
Yeah, I don't know what the best part is.
It's lifetime access.
That is
a 10-week course, and you can watch our update 10-week course from here until I'm 32. I'm not gonna do this forever, but for a long time. So there's gonna be a lot of comments. So
what is so good about that is you go through the course once, and then you go start building your portfolio of rentals. You're gonna have issues come up, so you can always come back to the course and ask questions. A year later, 2 years later, because you're gonna be a different place. You're gonna have different issues, and you can come back and ask questions at any time.
Your issues, we've been there, or the people in the group have been there. So it's just a great source. But that's why you go to freerentalwebinar.com and schedule that call with me. I think, Dylan, I did see your name pop up as one of the people that did. But we'll chat about it. It's not a secret. You look hard enough, go to FasterFreedom.com. It's on there. So if you really want to know ahead of time, for sure, go there.
Sounds like it's a secret if you won't tell them.
Well, I want people to do a little bit of work themselves, Brian. How often do you visit your property? Sorry if someone already asked. I'm late to the party. BJ, you are not late to the party. If we missed your questions earlier, ask them again because we're down to here. So how often do you visit your properties, Brian?
Rentals, we make sure that we get there at least once a year. So somebody in our company.
Not him, but
yeah, I haven't. I used to actually really enjoy going to our rentals.
There's a couple rentals I've never even been to. So.
I believe that about you. I think I know I've been to all of mine. But I used to go look at them every time it was vacant, just because I enjoyed doing it. But I don't even do that anymore. But somebody in our company is in every one of our houses at least once a year.
You want to check condition and just make sure it's getting taken care of, and but that makes sense. I think four of Lucas and I's last 5 rentals we haven't been in until after we close. We're crazy.
Seems to be working for you.
We have good people we trust.
And you got good photos, probably, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. Hello, Sam and Brian Schroeder. That is a very formal
hello
from Raj. Good to see you, my man. All right. You should save your live stream for people to watch again if they miss anything. Great. They are. They're all on YouTube. So TikTok, you can't. There's TikTok live going up right there, but YouTube, they are all on here. So go to our YouTube channel, and they're all on here. This is our 26th or 27th live. Every single one of them is on our TikTok or on our YouTube. So great question, and we're able to give some good feedback because of that. So that is awesome. For someone who hasn't fully educated themselves on this yet, what would be a better idea to go local meetups before getting an LLC and marketing? I would probably say, I think probably. Everybody's done it different ways. Each person has their own strengths and weaknesses and things they do. But I would say I would probably do that.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily have to. If you've educated yourself well off of YouTube and podcasts and stuff, that's good too. But
our YouTube,
right on. So I don't know that you have to, but the people that are successful in this business are people that take action. I know I never had gone to a local meetup before I bought my first house. I didn't even know what one was. You didn't either, right?
No.
So you don't have to. You're just going to get better. You want to plug into a network of people that are like-minded, that are doing what you're doing. So do that at some point, but don't let it stop you from buying or getting your marketing started.
I agree. That's a great answer. All right. If you're just logging on, if you're on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed and like our video and comment on there, obviously. And if you're on Facebook, give our video a like. We'd appreciate it. All right. That was the question for sure. All right. Ooh, got more ones coming. All right. Hey, I just scheduled my free call. Thank you for responding. We went to the bank and they can't do anything because I have 2 years of income, etc. So what do I do in the insurance? So yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, I remember seeing your call get scheduled. So if the bank can't do anything because of I guess you need 2 years of income, then there's several things that you can do. You can do owner financing, something along those lines, or you can just wholesale and fix and flip and get your income higher for when you can make that leap. There's a ton of things you can do. My end game is always rentals. I think that kind of is yours too, but there's a ton you can do.
Yeah,
if you're not quite ready to do rentals.
Is the goal here to buy rentals? If that's the goal, then 100% agree. Probably shoot for either buying houses subject to or seller financing. That's a great way to get started. So educate yourself on probably seller financing, but buying houses subject to existing financing, or getting seller financing, owner financing. That if you go that route, you don't have to worry about the bank financing, and you can wait till you get your 2 years of income set up.
Awesome. Yep. Appreciate that.
Lots of information out there. So just
I'll help you on the call. We'll talk more about that for sure. Looking for a new program to track rental expenses. What is your method? What do you use?
Well, you
answer that question. I saw questions coming up. I got to go get a prop. You go.
All right. So for looking for a new software or a program to track rentals and expenses, what method do you use? So we use Propertyware right now, but we've used a lot of different software programs over the years. I wouldn't recommend starting with that because it's too expensive. I would just start with just an Excel spreadsheet and stuff like that in the beginning. Once you get up to, I don't know, say around 10 properties, I don't know, a more affordable property management software is like Buildium. So that's a good place to start. And there's the more properties you got, the kind of you want to increase the quality of the property management software. But getting started, Excel spreadsheets is fine to get started. But
Did you tell them about Cozy?
No, I didn't. Tell me about Cozy.
Well, Cozy is just a free one that they give you free access to their software and all their systems for up to 10 rentals, and then you make it pay. But it's a great way to see what systems are out there. But we did ours in Excel.
He's got a better answer than I did.
Always do. So want to skip to this one?
You want to skip Alan?
No, I'm not skipping Alan. Where are your glasses? I had to go get them on.
I was wondering why you went and got glasses.
All right, I love your videos. Change the game. Appreciate it. Alan is awesome. He works for us. We're going to appreciation lunch for him tomorrow. He's doing a great job.
Alan and I hung out a little bit today, so good to see you, Alan.
We're going to lunch at Rookies tomorrow, 11:30. You want to come?
I might.
All right. More questions coming in. Appreciate signups going also. Here's a question. Also heard you saying that your hard money lender in St. Louis live about 2 hours from St. Louis, where I'd be eligible to work with your service. You answer the question if you invest in St. Louis, maybe, right?
Yeah, we only lend in the St. Louis metro area. So if your rental or your flip, if you're flipping or buying rentals in the St. Louis metro and on the Missouri side, definitely reach out. We don't do anything on the Illinois side, so we live about 2 hours and 30 minutes away. So I guess it just depends where you're investing in. If the houses are in the St. Louis metro area on the Missouri side, we definitely work with you.
Yep, for sure. Great answer. Another meeting coming through. All right. Thanks for posting. No problem. Appreciate you guys. If you liked this content, we're not done, but if you like this at all, make sure you're following us on our social medias, on our TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, and following us and commenting. All those algorithms like comments, Instagram to TikTok to YouTube. So the more you interact with me, Brian knows this. I respond to every single question myself.
Amazing.
Sometimes it takes like 200 or 300 a day, more than that. So I will respond. So please comment. All right. Can you recommend books? I love this question. All right. I'll read it so I want to concentrate on wholesale, but I think I should educate myself in general. So I know my answer. What's your answer? Or do you want me to say my answer first?
You go first.
All right. So I like mindset books, like a couple of them I love, like Pitch Anything, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the typical ones, and Good to Great by Jim Collins, and EntreLeadership by Dave Ramsey, and Morning Miracle. So I like Eat That Frog is an awesome one. So I like those mindset books that kind of get your mindset about life and business. But as far as real estate, I know there's real estate books out there. There's some tried and true methods in real estate, but so much change. There's no books on how to collect rent during this virus stuff. Or there's no books on this rental moratorium. I didn't say it right that time. But there's no books on that because it's so new. But guess what? There's thousands of YouTube videos and thousands of podcasts. So I would, in my opinion, watch our YouTube for sure. Also on social media, but there's other great ones out there as well. So follow the people you like and respect. YouTube channels, a podcast for updated new things, and then the mindset stuff are the books that I like.
That's very well said, Sam. You said that way better than I did.
Because that's probably the 40th time I've answered in the past 2 weeks.
Because I was thinking of all the books I've read. They're mostly all mindset books, but when I educate myself, it's all either at RIAs or at podcasts or YouTubes.
Yep, awesome, great question. Another one. I apologize if I answered 18 this idea on Saturday. I'm just trying to take as much action. Oh, you're good, man. Appreciate it, man, or I think man. But regardless, we appreciate you. Man, they're still coming up. My end goal is eventually have 50, 100 homes by the end of next year to be renting out. That is an aggressive goal. Let's go.
How many you got right now?
He's the one that says 18 is nothing yet.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's aggressive.
Well, if you want to do that, you definitely need to do our rental academy if you want to do that. So, all right, Kyle, I just started wholesaling. I have all the education down to consume. I'd like your comment about taking action. That's my next step, take action. I'm a little nervous about it. That's okay. I think it's okay. It's good to be nervous.
Yeah, I agree. If you're not nervous, you're probably not
doing this isn't the thing for you because there's risk.
Exactly. Being nervous will help you keep from screwing up. So that's good, Kyle.
That is awesome. Company extra work, are there fees? I think there was a missed question there because that's the first one I see, and then the second one I don't see. So ask that one again, Kyle, for sure, etc. You definitely ask your question again. So what is this free call thing you talk about? Can we schedule a few minutes to talk with one of you? Yeah, so that's what it is. So you go to freerentalwebinar.com and watch the 90-minute webinar about like who we are, what we offer, ton of free stuff that is given away in that. And then at the end, you have a chance to schedule a call with me if you want us to educate you more. Obviously, we put, and I'm not kidding, there's people pay tens of thousands of dollars for the information we put out on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram for free. So if you're not ready to take action or you're still thinking about it, just go there. But for people that want more, we obviously offer that at an extremely good price, but we do offer that, and that's what that calls for me to tell you about what we offer. And we are kind of always going through promotions and the discounts, and I give you the discounts on there.
High so flies are regular here. I like that.
Yeah, for sure, regular. So more questions coming in. I keep thinking that like we're at the bottom, but then I scroll down and there's a bunch more. All right, Airbnb is a profitable route. Thoughts on investing? Is Airbnb a profitable route? Thoughts on investing? And I'm not the best reader, and people spell check. I misspelled stuff too. My TikTok today did because I thought, and I looked, and someone's like, I misspelled like 3 things. I'm like, that's probably why.
That'll do it.
All right. So thoughts on investing in foreign countries? A couple things. Take this one because you have Airbnbs. I don't have any.
Well, I'll take both of these. So is Airbnb a profitable route? It certainly can be. You got to have a property in a desirable location. This year has been a very strange year. People that have it, like we have friends that have Airbnbs down at the Lake of the Ozarks, and they've been killing it this year. But we also have people that have Airbnbs in like the downtown areas of some cities that are just not working. So this year has been very strange for Airbnbs. But in general, yeah, the Airbnbs is definitely a profitable route. It's a little bit more work, I would say, than a single family rental because it's a little bit of, there's a lot more interaction.
Well, there's turnover every 3 or 4 times a month minimum, and rentals is hopefully every 3 or 4 years.
Exactly. So, but I go back to, there's so many different niches in real estate. That's what's so fun about real estate is there's so many different ways you can do it. So I always recommend getting a niche. Thoughts on investing in foreign countries? That was an exciting one to me because my plan
Tell me your plan.
My plan is to, about a year from now, I'm going to start traveling a lot more because our youngest is actually graduating from high school. So I'm going to take...
You guys had her. You must have been in your teens. That's crazy. You're so young.
You crack me up, man. My plan is to do 3 or 4 30-day long trips a year for the next few years, starting a year from now after Ashley gets out of high school. And one of the things I want to do is I want to go find local real estate investors in different foreign countries around the world because it interests me. Right now, I don't have many thoughts on investing in real estate in foreign countries. I don't know enough about it. but I'm going to educate myself on that. So I think I might even start a YouTube channel.
I think you should either be a bolt-on to ours or a whole new one. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So check back in a year or two.
And I've talked to a couple people on that free rental webinar, that live call we just talked about. I've talked to someone in South Africa, and then Australia. So the kind of people.
Love it.
I agree with this 100%, BJ. Brian, we'll have him do a TikTok. I'll get him on a TikTok here soon.
All right.
All right. What is your hard money website and term 70? Okay, so I'll let him answer. I'll let Brian answer this, but we only lend in the Metro West, so Missouri side of St. Louis.
Yeah.
So we only lend there. But tell them a little about the term, just so they get a general feel for hard money.
Perfect. So our website is Faster Funds Lending. So fasterfundslending.com. So we will lend up to 75% of LTV. I'm sorry, did I say LTV? 75% of ARV. So if the house is worth $100,000 fixed up, we lend up to 75% of that. So if that's a purchase plus rehab, we'll do 100% purchase, 100% rehab if it's a good enough deal. So reach out on that. Interest rates are just 1% a month. So if it's a $100,000 loan, it's $1,000 a month, and we got 3 origination points that are paid on the back end. So when you refinance it out, so that's kind of our term.
And that's pretty typical. And if anything's on the low end of hard money lenders, just so you guys know,
it's a short-term loan. So
yeah, for sure. Alex saying, hey, what's going on? Glad you're here. Thank you. Give us a like on Facebook. I see you're on there. Going from buyer contract signed based on contingencies, can you explain the title company process from there? So basically, once you get the property under contract, if you have a contingency, inspection or some type of contingency, that's fine. Make sure the seller's aware of that contingency. I always say be transparent with the sellers. But basically, you hand in you might do some more work, but you basically hand in the contract to the title company, and then you and them together have to take it to closing from there by contacting the seller, getting the information the seller needs, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the title company does most of the work to make sure that they get all the information to transfer the property from the seller to you. So just get it started, process started with the title company. They'll walk you through the rest.
Awesome. And this is the guy's plan. There's no reason you can't do it. I know people that have done that, so I like your confidence. I love it. So hopefully, I don't know if you want to schedule a call with me. We'll go into more detail on that. But the best way to network is go to those local real estate investing meetups. 100%. I feel like we missed a few questions. I definitely did. All right. How many years did it take you to go full-time real estate? At what point do you know you're no longer needed a W-2 job? It's a great question.
Yeah,
I feel like you answered earlier. Do you want to answer, or do you want me to do it again?
I'll take a shot at it, and you change. So
I'll clean up the mess.
You clean up the mess. How many years did it take to go full-time in real estate? So I was a
rocket scientist.
I was a rocket scientist.
The name of this is the real estate scientist. Get how clever it is. I feel like it's clever, but I don't think it hits home. But anyways, keep going.
I was a rocket scientist for 4 years out of college, and I.
How many years too many was that?
That was 4 years too many. So after that, I became a real estate appraiser for 8 years. That was my full-time gig. During that time, I kind of started to learn and get interested in the real estate investing world. So I would say the last couple years of that, I actually flipped a few houses and bought a few rentals. So kind of got into it a little bit, but then I just went cold turkey one day and we just quit our job. So, but I wouldn't recommend that. I mean, it depends on everybody. Everybody's personality is different. Everybody's skill set's different. Everybody's level of risk is different. But I would do a field flips or build up a somewhat of a portfolio of rentals before you go full time. When I left my full-time job, my new job became flipping houses, buy a house, rehab it, resell it. And so it was a fairly easy transition because I had done, 5, I think, while I had my full-time job, I had done about 5 flips. So I knew it enough that I knew I could do it. And then, that's what we started with, and then we built up our rental portfolio on the side. So
that all made sense. One question, though, to follow up. I've never known the answer to this.
What is the
You said you quit cold turkey. What does cold turkey mean? What does it mean to quit cold turkey?
I don't really know. That's just one of those sayings. I got it from my dad.
I know. I haven't heard it. I just didn't know it doesn't make sense. So, Brian, I'm trying to get an entertainment factor to the channel and not just be spewing education.
Well, I was trying to give you an honest answer.
It was good.
I heard it from my dad.
That's good. All I ask is honesty with you every day. That's all I ask.
All right.
what kind of qualifications do you look for in an application for your hard money incomes? Yeah, so yeah, you answer this one because this is what you, if you're in St. Louis, this will apply to you. If you're not in St. Louis, probably many hard lenders have the same qualifications.
Yeah. So basically, we're just looking. I would just call it common sense lending. We just want to make sure that you have enough knowledge to get through the deal. So if you're flipping houses, that you got some kind of construction experience or at least knowledge to hire general contractors and stuff. So as long as we feel confident that you know what you're doing, then that's what we're looking for. So you don't necessarily need a ton of income. We lend to a lot of people where their income is flipping houses. So but you definitely need to make sure that we demonstrate the knowledge. And then we like to see that you have 10 grand in the bank. That's kind of what we're looking for as a standard. Credit we don't care about.
For sure. So yeah, did we say, so yeah, we make 200 to 300 per rental property, and this is legitimate net. So you got your rental income, and then you have your mortgage that comes out of that. Then you have your real estate taxes that come out of that you pay at the end of the year. You have your insurance, you have your vacancy, you have your property management. You have a lot of different expenses if you pay a CPA or if you have software expenses. So there's a ton of expenses that go into that. At the end of the day, after all that, we shoot for $200 to $300 per property. Some markets are probably less. Some markets are probably more, to be honest. That's just, but I think that's probably pretty common for a lot of cities the size of St. Louis.
Yeah, and that's day one. Once we get it refinanced, what I love about the real estate game is the longer you're in it, your rents go up, but your expenses typically, your mortgage should be staying even or going down. So it'll go up over time.
Yeah, awesome for sure. All right, let's get to a couple more of these. Here's a good one. So the same. Chap, we've been talking for most of the night. Can you re-explain how I can go about getting finance for real estate? Yeah, so we'll answer that. That's a pretty deep question. Hopefully we're going with the call or just go. All these questions are answered on our YouTube channel. I like going live and answering questions so we can interact, but I mean, not all of them, but there's over 80 something videos on there. So most of these questions are answered somewhere. You just got to find them and comment. Remember I said comment, but I clicked out the question for some reason. So deeper, so how about getting finance? So on the front end, you go to a private lender or hard money lender. They give you the money to purchase and fix up a property. Then you get it rented. This is the Burr method, and this is what we've been talking about. You get it rented, and then you take it to a local bank, and they will cut you a check for 80% of the appraised value. It sounds like it's something that's made up, but it's crazy that they do this. So they'll cut you a check for 80% of the appraised value. Hopefully you did your research, you bought it right, and that's enough to pay back your lender who lent you the money to purchase plus interest. And now they gave you a check for 80%. They're just like giving you the money. You have a mortgage on that property, and guess what? You got it rented the step before, so the tenant pays your expenses, and one of those expenses is your mortgage.
Yeah, it's funny there's questions out here because we just did, Lucas and I did this session of our Live Rental Academy today was on financing. So we got a whole hour and 10-minute long conversation about this in our. So if you join the Live Rental Academy, we go into a really deep dive. There's basically three things. There's private funds, private lenders, there's hard money lenders, and there's banks. And we go through how to work with all three of those in great detail. But they're like Sam just said, there's videos on it. It's kind of hard to explain it in a minute or two here.
I love it. Look at this one.
A person who quits an attic looks like that's good. I like that.
The things you learn on YouTube.
Looks like a cold train. Oh, this is good. Thanks for the answer, PCS girls.
So how you find a hard money lender is just Google them and search them was your question. How to find a hard money lender was your question. So we're talking all things real estate investing tonight. So if you have any more questions about real estate investing, make sure to follow us on all our social medias. It's always under FasterFreedom. Is the name. If you want more than what we give, which we give away literally tens of, you just broke our pumpkin.
It had a pimple.
He just popped the pimple.
There's a pimple on the pumpkin.
That's alliteration at its finest. So if you want more education and more resources, go to freerentwebinar.com and schedule a call with me. We give away more than our fair share for free, and that most people can, or not most, but a lot of people can probably utilize that and go out and do it and take action. But if you want to take action correctly and have less speed bumps and be able to maneuver the waters more than most, because one mistake on a rental can cost you a couple grand, and guess what? You can get our education for around that. So go to freerentwebinar.com if you have any more questions or want any more. If not, that's fine. Just stay tuned. We're going live next week at the same time, 8:30. I don't exactly know what we're talking about, but we're going live next week. Same type of deal, so we appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube. And any closing thoughts, Mr. Real Estate Science? So we didn't even get into your story, but maybe we'll do that
I was
next
just going to say, next time you're just going to answer questions. So that's all we did today.
Yeah, that's what you dreamed about this. This has been your dream for a long
love
time.
the questions. It was a lot of fun interacting. And
so, yeah.
And a lot of those questions are on our YouTube page. So,
so make sure
much deeper dives.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube, follow us. You can go to my TikTok even if you haven't, and check me out there. So appreciate it, guys. Have a good night, and gals.